Odysseus. Don't you remember? Thunder. Fire. Death.
I remember a wife, a son, home. Ithaca's a kingdom waiting for a king.
My dad is coming home.
They're pining for a daddy you didn't even know. Like some sniveling bastard.
Ithaca's king is coming back.
Bringing vengeance. Bringing it all. I could take this room.
They're not giving up power to you or Odysseus. Do you think life goes back to the way it was? That world is gone. If he returned, he'd have to kill him, like you will.
You gods don't speak in ways we understand.
Who doesn't understand pain? Or blood? The gods told you.
Then I defied the gods.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Tower of Babel podcast. As always, I'm Julian Misha. I'm joined by Matt Tork.
Hello.
We're going to talk about, I think, primarily the Odyssey. I want to get into it now that I've seen it. I know you've seen it, Matt.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the film itself, as well as the kind of the stuff surrounding the movie. And then I have a few things, like as I mentioned, that I want to talk about. I still want to talk about Spider-Man, but you need to go see it, dude.
That's the Tobey Maguire one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spider-Man 2
Yeah.
from, what was that, 2002, I want to say? 2003?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's...
Okay. I will go and see it, but
I'm not going to like it.
I didn't say that. I asked my nephew, who's 5,
Yep.
his thoughts on it,
Okay.
and he said he really liked it
It's good.
when
Yeah.
Spider-Man became
Okay.
more powerful.
Oh, that is cool. That is a cool moment.
And then I asked, were there any funny parts? And he said
There
he
is.
wasn't going to spoil it for me.
There are...
So he wouldn't
well,
spoil
he
it for me.
spoiled that he got more
Yeah.
powerful. That's
But
a spoiler.
yeah. Then he also said that I'd have to go and see it, and he wouldn't. How does a 5-year-old know that?
Okay. Well, I don't know, man. It's really crazy. You ever wonder about, like, when you're a kid, it's like, did you ever get that thing you absolutely wanted, like an N64 or
Yeah.
something like that as a
I
present?
got it. Yeah.
I got an N64 for Christmas one year. Not
I
like
did
that
too.
N64 kid. Also, it came with GoldenEye,
Yeah.
right?
And NHL 99 for me.
Sick.
how-
I only had really GoldenEye. I think that was all I had. Maybe Mario 64. But I remember I keep forgetting because I want to ask my parents this, but like, how did they know that that's exact? And like my parents, I remember they watched me play GoldenEye for a little while, and they're like, "There's so much shooting in this game." I was like, yeah, that's all you do. I was like, watch the chairs explode. Like shoot them and the chairs explode, and then they're like, okay. And I try to convince my dad to play, and he's like, no. So I'm like, you guys knew exactly the gift that I wanted, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how I knew that I wanted GoldenEye and an N64 at that age, right? The internet was not really a thing.
No, it wasn't a
So
thing
it's
at all.
like, how did you know that that's what I wanted? How did I know?
Well, didn't you write a letter to Santa?
I mean, maybe, but like, okay,
They just
I
assumed-
want to get. He wants the James Bond game. This kid doesn't even know who James Bond is.
There was probably some sick commercials,
Oh, there probably was.
like real video game commercials. I don't think they have commercials for video games anymore. Like that's not
They're
just
doing
the game,
one
but
on
it's like
they're doing
a
it
kid
on
playing a
Netflix
game.
for GTA.
Yeah, that'll be sweet.
But it's
I
gonna
know
go
you're
online in like 10 minutes
Yeah, I know.
after. It's so
Well, you
it
have
makes no
Netflix, so
sense.
you'll watch it anyway.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I canceled.
Well, that's too bad. Toys R Us must have been just pumping that thing out in the catalog.
I did. You know what? It might have been Toys R Us because I love
It had to have been
going
Toys
to
R
Toys R Us, man. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Kids must not buy toys anymore because
Well, it's because Toys R Us is going out of business. And also, like, they've done them all. Like, all the good toys have been done.
yeah, they don't make 64s anymore.
Actually, have you heard of the Analog 64?
I have. Sounds pretty sweet.
It's sick as hell, right? It's like made out of like carbon steel. And it's like it plays your N64 cartridges with like wireless control. It's sick, dude. And like in HD. That's what it's all about. Anyway, we're not here to talk about video games.
Fuck.
Oh, actually, I do have another anecdote
Okay.
as it relates to movies, relating to getting word from the younger generation. Like, what do the younger generation think?
Yep.
So I was talking to my girlfriend's younger sister. She's 21.
I was going to say this. She must be very young now.
She's 21 years
Yeah.
old. Is that a dig at my
It
May
is,
September relationship
Yeah,
that I have?
yeah.
Okay. She's only 9 years younger than me. That's not crazy.
No,
right?
that's
fine.
that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was talking to this 21-year-old, happens to be the younger sister of my girlfriend, and she was saying, I don't understand why everyone's so obsessed with this mid-ass movie, talking about the Odyssey.
That's so awesome.
She's like, why would anyone want to travel for that mid-ass movie? I'm like, oh, have you seen it? She's like, I have no reason. She's like, why would I want to see that? So just that's my anecdotal evidence. This person, by the way, also loved Obsession, which, okay, fair enough. That's a good movie.
Okay.
And Backrooms, and is like, I guess is like the target audience for that like Gen Alpha like movie crowd, which the Odyssey is definitely not that crowd.
And it's almost, well, it is 3 hours.
It's 3 hours long.
It felt
2
like
hours,
4 and a
52
half after trailer.
Did you think it was too long?
Not really.
I
but
felt like I was in it the whole time.
I was, but I felt like there was a couple times where I'm like, all right, it's a little long.
Here's the log line. After the Trojan War, Odysseus faces a dangerous voyage back to Ithaca, meeting creatures like the Cyclops. What does that say? Polyphemus? Cyclops? Polyphemus?
Yeah.
Sirens? And Calypso along the way. What a... Like, I feel like you're really selling the story short
Yeah.
on that one.
It's like, he saw 5 people.
What about Circe and like when that messed up scene when they turned them all to pigs, and like what about those weird giants?
But how it's a log line. It's got to be like a sentence.
Yeah, but like, so
maybe
why
two.
mention the Cyclops and the Sirens?
Because
and
everyone
Calypso?
wants to see the
Calypso's
Cyclops.
barely in the movie.
Yeah, but it was a big part of the story, though.
Yeah,
He spent like what 7 years?
7
there?
years there, but it feels like 10 seconds. Yeah.
And it's like he was having sex on some island for 7 years.
Okay, so I was listening to another podcast, and there was much debate about whether or not he was having sex with Calypso.
What was he doing?
Like whether the movie was saying that he was having sex with Calypso.
Yeah, they
Like,
didn't really hammer that on the head,
But like, I think it's like, what else exactly? Like you said, like what the fuck else would they be doing the whole time? She's
Yeah.
like, you seem to be enjoying yourself. Like you liked it.
she's like, we're happy here,
Yeah.
but felt very toxic.
Well, a little manipulative.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's like, you said you liked these leaves that make you forget everything. What am I supposed to do? Not feed them to
Don't you like my leaves? But yeah, 7 years. That's a long time.
I feel like the timelines for this are crazy, right?
Yeah.
The war is how long?
10?
10 years, right?
Yeah. Or is it travel 10?
It's 10. I think it's like a year to travel and then 10 years on the beaches outside Troy, right?
Yeah. I could be wrong, but
It sounds right. Like it's a long time. It's like, okay, well, because no, it's 20 years. He's away. He's lost for 20 years.
yeah.
The war's 10. He's lost for another 10, right? 20-ish years. Because his son was like not even born yet.
Ooh,
right?
Spider-Man?
Yeah, Spider-Man wasn't even born yet. But then he's like 20 something when like the events of the movie take place.
Yeah.
All right, okay, so spoilers for the Odyssey. I mean, this is a 3,000-year-old story, so I guess there's not much to say. This is according to IMDb, an action epic, an adventure epic, a dark fantasy epic, quest, sea adventure, sword and sandal, action adventure fantasy movie. Would you say that accurately reflects?
It pretty much nails it.
Okay. And we were talking about this before we started recording, but when you say sword and sandal, like what comes to mind?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking instantly, my first one was Prince of Persia.
Yep, accurate. No,
And
you
then-
first technically said The Mummy, I think.
Oh, yeah, The Mummy. Then
Which is
Prince
not
of-
sword and sandal.
No, there's definitely...
Because
there
they're not
might be-
using swords.
No, and they don't
Or
even have
wearing
sandals.
Yeah, exactly. They're
Emotep.
wearing boots and
Emotep might have had
boots and
some
guns.
sandals.
Is that just like that's just every gun
Sword and
movie?
sandal screams Brendan Fraser.
Really?
Yeah, like Encino Man. No swords in that either. A lot of sandals.
I can't think of a single movie where Brendan Fraser wields a sword.
It's got to be one.
I mean, I'm sure he does wield a sword in The Mummy at one point, but that's not
There's a lot of sand.
that's not what they
so,
mean. So
no.
for the record, a sword and sandal movies like The Gladiator
Yeah,
or
okay.
Spartacus,
Yeah, yeah.
Rome, 300. The
Hercules?
Last Samurai, I don't feel like counts in my opinion.
Why, you think it should all be just European and not...
It feels like it's more ancient than that. And also Hercules does count, but even though it is
It's a good one. That is a good movie.
An animated movie. The 1997 Hercules you're a fan of that one? I like the cast mostly. I know that James Woods is like considered like a bit of a weirdo now, but his Hades is so good.
Yeah, he's a good
Yeah.
kind of good villain there.
That's basically it. Oh, Keith David plays Apollo.
Danny DeVito,
Phil.
not too shabby. We could add it to our list to watch.
You think this one?
Yeah.
I think this one has some of the best music too. Some of the songs are good, I feel like, but I could be wrong. I don't have a good memory of how this movie actually like holds up in the year
Well, we'd have to
2026.
check it out. I'm sure it does.
It's freaking 30 years old. Just to make you feel old for a second.
Yeah, but the Odyssey's 3,000 years old.
Yeah. So that's cool. Actually, like, let's just talk about that for a second. How do you feel like? I feel like that adds a lot of weight to it, doesn't it? Hey, this is originally written by, as you mentioned, Christopher Nolan and Homer.
Yeah.
So
That's why everyone was on his ass about Nolan.
oh, well,
It's a
hold,
big
on, hold on.
movie.
I want to click on Homer's IMDb.
See what he's got.
I wanna know
See if there's anything upcoming.
I want to know. What's he working on right now? Holy crap, that's funny.
Known for
Homer is the name traditionally ascribed to the brilliant Greek bard that authored most notably the Iliad and the Odyssey. Nothing concrete is known of his life, but he's traditionally thought to be a
Okay.
blind and was probably born in either Chios or Smyrna. His epic poems were most likely memorized and recited in bardic lays and only later written down.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, it's Oh Brother, Where Art Thou is a version of the Odyssey.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Yeah. Known for the Odyssey, Troy, the 2004 film Troy, the 2000 film Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and the 2026 film Achilles Returns.
He's done a lot of work.
Yeah, credited as a writer on
There's a Star
70
Wars one on there.
75.
Look at that.
Where am I looking?
77 Star Wars -17.
Epic poem, the Odyssey. Okay, I don't know. This is actually a little unhinged list of movies and TV shows.
Siesta
and
Z
plays.
as Homero? That's good.
I mean, the animated Odyssey. I don't even know how to say those words. Crayola Kids Adventures, the Trojan
that's a
Horse.
good. Yeah.
It's a classic. The miniseries from 1997. Wishbone, based on the book, based on the story segment, The Odyssey. I didn't know Wishbone did The Odyssey. That's good. Anyway, it's just funny to think that Homer is credited for 75 things in
Well,
IMDb.
yeah. 3,000 years. It's a long time. You better be.
Okay, so again, does that feel like it adds any like gravitas to you in terms of like the movie or the story, knowing that it's so old?
I like it. I also just love like Greek mythology and just there's something about it that's just.
What were they up to back then?
I don't know. Just
What
sitting
were,
around.
what were they drinking? What were they smoking? I want to know what
crushing
they
a lot
were
of grapes,
smoking.
stepping on grapes for wine.
Yeah,
There must have been chugging wine.
the wine had to have been so bad. think of the worst
It
wine.
must have been just straight up grape juice.
Think of the worst wine you've ever had.
Yeah.
It's got to be worse than that.
Oh, the worst wine we've ever had is probably 400 million times better than the best wine they've ever had.
Yeah, that's what
It had to be.
probably. Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I bet you
did
there's
they
some
even
exceptions.
filter?
I bet you
like,
there's some exceptions.
I don't know.
Yeah, they probably use things like cheesecloth and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like it's clean though. Like there must have been a lot of dirt.
It probably smelled a lot like feet.
There's probably a lot of dirt in their wine.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they wash their stuff.
But they're always like drinking it in like a dirty environment. They're always just shoving food in their mouth and
And
they're
then
just like
using their hands.
they're just chugging it. They're like, it's more like me with a Diet Coke at McDonald's. You use it to wash down. You wouldn't enjoy it, but you're just like, I need one right
Diet
now.
Coke, gross.
No, Diet Coke, great.
Full sugar, full fat, full
Just
salt.
Mouthful of fries, quarter
That's all I
pounder, 3,000-year-old wine.
I would love to try what 3,000-year-old wine like.
You couldn't afford.
No. Obviously, if it
30-year-old
was from
wine.
3,000 years ago, you can't drink that wine. It would just be dust in there. I'm saying transport a bottle from 3,000 years ago,
Yeah.
and I want to try it. I'd probably take a sip and go,
Like,
like
this is
just
dog
immediately
shit.
spit it out. They're like Odysseus drank from that same one. You maggot.
And you'd be like, oh, did he is? That's what would be my,
Yeah.
that'd be my joke.
That's you've been working on that one
Yeah.
ever since you watched the movie.
I was waiting for someone to ask me a wine
based
Odysseus
question.
joke.
Yeah, could have been an anything Odysseus based comment. Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like for me, just to answer my original question, it does add a lot of gravitas to think like someone 3,000 years ago was thinking about these. Lots of people were thinking about these ideas of like what it means to come back from war and how it changes you, and like the bonds you have to your fellow man, to your crew, to your family, to your fellow soldiers, like all these things. Like these are questions that they were asking. Also, the respect they had for their dogs, mad respect.
Yeah.
The movie only made me emotional like 3 times. One of the times was when that dog died.
What about the ones when they're hucking the dogs off?
Dude, rough.
Yeah, rough go.
Not pun not intended. But like I think about that and I think we're still telling the same story, but not only that, all those same ideas resonate. And it's just like, how much do you think we would have in common? I also think about this question a lot. If you plucked someone out of the ancient world, right, from 3,000 years ago, and you place them in the modern world today, how quickly do you think they would get up to speed? Like, how quickly do you think they would like learn what a phone is, be amazed by like the concept of the internet, right? And then would it be like 2 years where they're like scrolling and like bored, you know?
Oh, they'd be so bored.
Like, really? I think there's no like. I think it'd take a while. I think it would take a while for them to like get tired of the modern conveniences. So you think it's like your food's not going to kill you, your wine's not going to kill you, so that's great. They'd be like, "Wow, this wine's way too strong."
He's like, "I got to eat." He'd go and kill something on the street. He was like,
"What are you going to kill off the street to eat in a city?
A dog, maybe. Who knows?"
No, they like dogs. They're not going to.
Back then, they did.
Yeah, people still like dogs now. I don't mean to spoil anything for you.
3,000 years is such a long time.
It's hard to even fathom, right?
But
It's
how
hard
do
to
they even
fathom.
know where they're going?
The stars. There's even a reference to that in the movie.
I know, but like, how do you like just believe that and just like have the courage to go and fucking do it? Like, I'll just look at this one star.
Well, it's
Oh,
crazy.
it's cloudy.
The craziest thing is if you go, it's cloud.
super cloudy. I'm very lost now.
I guess the craziest thing would be you accidentally end up in the southern hemisphere or something, and then the stars are all different.
Yeah.
Then what do you do? Right? That's tough because I remember one time when I was in Australia, I looked up at the night sky and I was like, I don't recognize any of this. And I was like, which was different because you're basically used to seeing basically the same stuff every time you look up in the sky, right? There's the Big Dipper.
Yeah.
There's
The Little Dipper.
a Little Dipper hard to spot usually. You need good Like you need lots of stars to see the Little Dipper, I
Yeah.
think. Or also known as Ursa Minor and Ursa Major. There's Orion's Belt and Orion and all the ones that you recognize, right? Northern Star, etc. All the all those tiny satellites that go by for internet.
Oh yeah, the internet stars.
Those are my favorite.
Those are great.
Yeah. The low atmosphere internet stars. So like, genuine question though, how long do you think someone till they got bored of modern life from the ancient world?
Depends where they're living.
Oh yeah, so you transport here's a funny practical joke. You transport for someone from 3,000 years ago and you place them in one of those untouched communities in the middle of the Amazon.
Yeah. Then they'd be fine. They just like drop them in.
But then a plane flies over, they're like, holy shit.
And they have the drone. Just like one drone would be put on the drone light show. That would mess with them.
Oh yeah. They would be like, oh, we have a new god.
Yeah.
Okay. Overall thoughts on the Odyssey. What did you think?
Loved it. I loved it.
You want to expand on that?
No.
Okay.
It was great. Like,
it's so good, right? It's truly an epic journey.
I was waiting for just like every scene. I was like, hey, this is coming. This is coming.
It's kind of funny too, I think. Did you get that? Did you feel that? Every time they get off their boat, they're like, run away.
Yeah. They look for food. Like, we shouldn't go here. We're gonna die. Well, we gotta go here.
Yeah.
And then when those giants came and just started chasing, they're like, run,
run away.
Those guys just
oh my god,
demolished.
Apparently those guys are like, they are obviously from the Odyssey,
cannibals.
but they're not typically featured in most like interpretations because it's like they're pretty crazy. I feel like it's wild to do the giant. How do you feel about the Cyclops? That's the first one. That's a pretty crazy sequence.
It was pretty crazy. I liked it. I thought it was a bit long, but I kind of
like, you got tired of watching this.
They're like, hey, he's got to go to sleep.
Pop people's heads.
Yeah, but you're like, okay, this is great. And then when he's like, hey, he's down. Let's just shove this spear in his eye.
Him in the eye.
You're
Yeah.
like, why? Just let him just go.
Well, because they can't. Well, because the Cyclops seals them in with a giant rock.
Yeah, well,
so they need the Cyclops to open the door.
But you have to go get food.
But they can't. Yeah, but he seals the door behind him when he gets the food.
I know, but
and they can't leave because every time he tries to leave, he just grabs them and eats them.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it's a harrowing experience.
It would be nuts.
So
it was huge.
There's a lot of discourse online about this idea that like that whole sequence doesn't necessarily like endear Odysseus to the audience very well, because he comes off like a real idiot and then as an asshole because he then shoots the Cyclops in the eye for no reason.
Right in the eyeball.
Yeah, why?
Where else are you gonna?
That's the question, I guess. But like, do you have an answer? Like, why do you think he did that?
I thought he said it in the movie.
Oh, they ask him why, and I don't think he has a good answer.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
And then again, it was which based on,
was it just so he couldn't see them? I guess
the interpretation I have. Well, he already couldn't see. He was already blind in that.
That's
eye.
right. Yeah.
The interpretation that I have was that like he was extracting a little revenge for like all the people that he ate or killed. You know.
Yeah.
But it didn't help because he ended up killing more people because of that.
But it's just like you just let him be.
Leave the giant alone.
He was huge though. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, it looks great.
It looked really good.
Looked really good. I think this movie looks great from start to finish. Like every sequence looks like. Is there a single sequence that doesn't look?
Nothing was like too jarring
real?
Or threw me away. Like no.
The craziest part, in my opinion, is when those giant tentacles grab them off the boat after the whirlpool. That's the only part that like is like, whoa, okay, that's crazy.
It's a little Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Including the whirlpool. But technically every other idea after this was stolen from the Odyssey, so you can't.
Yeah. No, I think they nailed it.
What did you feel about the twist? I guess it's not really a twist, but like the reveal that they were actually the ones from the sea.
The
sea people.
I liked it because, yeah, I guess you could say twist because I wasn't expecting that, I guess. I don't know.
It was kind of hinted like the very first time they land, right? And then they
Yeah.
raid that village and he's like, don't go that way. You're going to regret if you go that way. Right. They make it seem like, oh, these aren't good people. Like, why are they just raiding this village?
No, they just rape and pillage.
Right. And so it's like, oh, I feel like I kind of sense that was maybe coming, but whether that was actually, I had already clued into it or locked into it. I don't think so. Not yet. But like by later on, it was like, oh yeah, no, these are definitely the people from the sea.
Yeah, these are definitely bad people.
Yeah.
Wherever they go, they're just like, I need food.
Yeah.
We need this. We need your weapons.
And they have nothing to trade.
No, they have
for
nothing.
it. So it's like, you just have to just take it. But then like so there's two things that this movie like leans on really hard, right? Which is this idea of like the law of Zeus, right?
Mhm.
Zeus's law and how it's violated. And then this idea of like PTSD and like what it does to somebody,
Yeah.
right? Because like, I'll ask this to you. Do you think Odysseus actually wanted to get home?
That's a good question.
I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to this question, by the way. It's just I think it's an interesting thought experiment.
I feel like he probably did, but then at some point, you're
He was
gone
like,
that long. You're just
maybe-
like, I got to keep checking shit out in the world. I want to keep exploring. I want to keep discovering.
He just
Wouldn't
wants
you
to
have that?
keep the journey going because I think it's a fear of the repercussions of dealing with your actions. It's like, if I just keep going, I never have to face
Yeah.
the music, right? The musical chairs never ends if I just keep
But he didn't know what
dancing.
that was back home, though.
No, he doesn't, but he also he'd have to slow down long enough to consider his own actions,
Yeah.
right? And I feel like he doesn't want to do that. That's the interpretation I have.
They
of it.
didn't want to come home.
Not
Well, that's what he says the sirens told him.
that he didn't want to come home.
Yeah.
By the way, the siren scene was really freaking cool. The guy who jumps
Very cool.
overboard, super cool.
Yeah.
Everything about that.
I wanted to see more, but I liked that you didn't. But-
Well, it's like, because you can't. The thing is, it's like you can't make the siren music. You can't like make it a thing
No.
that you can actually hear because it's
No.
like it would never live up to this perfect song, right? It's always this breathy. Oh,
It's not like they're just playing Freebird.
Yeah, no, it's actually Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
So that all works for me. The thing that I was thinking about a lot during the movie, though, and I think it does seem to be like Nolan's focus, right? Is this idea that and because of the way he cut it up, I don't know what your thoughts are on like the way that they jump through time in the movie, which is classic Nolan stuff, where it's kind of like before and after, and then again later, and then later before, and all that stuff. And it's fine. I think in this case, I think it really works to kind of like, we'll tell you the parts of the stories that make them have the most impact in the moment that they carry the most weight, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, this idea of like Odysseus, who everyone's like, oh, he's a genius. He's a real genius, especially
Yeah.
What's his name? What the heck is his name? What's Tom Holland's buddy's name? He was on Hot Ones with them. The Punisher.
Oh, Bernthal?
Bernthal, yeah. So John Bernthal is the king's brother, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, Odysseus is such a genius. By the way, great performance by Bernthal. I think he was
pretty good.
He's been getting a lot of flack recently about being like all of his characters are kind of the same,
They are.
which is, I guess, fair. But I think you haven't seen Spider-Man. He shows a lot of range, surprisingly, in that. Why is he so
He's
hard
not
to
even in
find?
here.
Bernthal.
He was, Agamemnon's
Agamemnon's brother.
Starts with an M, doesn't it? Or am I crazy? It's B-E-R.
Is it B-E-R? Bernthal? B-E-R, Bernthal. Oh, no, I spelled it wrong.
Maybe he's not in the movie.
No, I guess we were wrong about him the entire time. Yeah.
There he is.
Menelaus. Yeah. So he goes to, Tom Holland goes to see Menelaus, and he's like, I haven't heard anything about your father. He's like, I've been kind of busy myself dealing with the fact that my wife is a traitor, and that because like the whole premise of the Trojan War, right?
Yeah.
So his wife, quote unquote, is like stolen, quote unquote, by the Trojans, but more than likely she left on her own, right? Helen, right? And so this is like this pretext for going to war. It's going to take all this time, yada yada yada. But the movie, like the story of the movie is that like Odysseus came up with this Trojan horse plan. By the way, they were like the way that they showed the Trojan horse and how it was, used in this interpretation of the story. Crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Crazy.
Built this magical thing on the beach.
I'm like, well, maybe if it lived further up the beach so you don't drown inside of it would be a good idea. But what do I know? Also, I like the idea of it being like left as we all left, and they just left this behind as like a token of good faith, as opposed to wheeling it up to the front door and being like, we brought you this gift. Don't ask any questions. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so Odysseus comes up with this plan, which is to say, lie to them. Just lie to them. Have people sneak in from inside this Trojan horse, and we'll break all their trust, right?
Yeah.
Which is the ultimate betrayal of the rule of Zeus, the Zeus's law, right? There's this idea that like you would treat others as you would be treated.
Yeah.
And so this bastardization, this complete willingness to forgo all of your what's the word I'm looking for? Like all your scruples, all your morals, and just give them all up for the purpose of winning. Though effective, is your soul owes a price.
But it's a genius move.
I guess if you have no scruples, if you don't see your enemy as a person, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just so shady to give a gift, but the gift just to be this like, it's like giving someone a blanket with frickin' smallpox on it or whatever. It's like, that's messed up.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no forgiving that. And I think, we know that, Odysseus, he says but when he returns, he casts himself into exile because of what he did.
Yeah.
Right. Which I think is maybe the right move. And I respect the movie for like saying, oh, he's aware of his kind of this shame that he feels, but
I'm just going to go to this other island with my hot wife.
Right.
I
want Odysseus.
I'm going to get punished.
Well, he says he's going to sail into the far west, which is like, I guess is like North America.
Yeah.
So,
but sequel?
Do you think, him landing, it's Odysseus landing on the shores of
LA, Venice Beach.
Well,
he's like, why is everyone surfing here?
Why is everyone surfing? Why do I know what surfing is?
The Beach Boys are there.
Yeah, no, he turns out he's been traveling for 3,000 years. Yeah.
It'll be all right. Well, he major regret. He had Zendaya following around.
Yeah, I mean,
getting decapitated for no reason.
I mean, it wasn't for no reason. I mean, you could argue that everyone who died at Troy was for no reason.
Yeah.
What stands out, like, I guess, does that, like, what I was saying before, does that...
I don't think there's any morals now when it comes to war, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I think, but that's the thing. Like, I think this it's not just war.
Start of it?
I don't think I don't think it's just war. It's everything. Like, we were just talking about before we recorded about, like, corporate America, right?
Yeah.
And
you mean corporate Canada?
Well, we live in North America. Yeah. So corporate America, I'm just going to use that as a short term, has this belief that like all must grow forever, right? Infinite growth is the only path at all costs, right? We will We'll step on any person we have to. Even our own employees don't mean anything to us.
Yeah.
The people that work for us, right? And like, there's a lot of there's a lot of how do I want to say this? Analogous. A lot that is analogous to, that is what I would like to say, to this idea of this bastardization of the law of Zeus, right? Which is to say, win at all costs. And then what does that do to society? Because the message of the movie is, oh, we might have won the Trojan War, but it brought chaos to
The
Greece.
world. Yeah.
Right. I mean, their version of the world.
Yeah.
And you could argue that in this modern times that we live in, that golden rule of do unto others as you would do unto yourself is completely lost. And because of that, society is sick because of it.
Yeah, but you don't treat people like that.
No, I don't treat people like what?
No, like you treat people like how you'd want to be treated.
I try to, but
I do.
But the thing is, and I will say this until the day I die. There's no moral consumption under capitalism, which is to say, I'm sure I'm participating. And I know for a fact that I participate in the exploitation of someone or another every single day, just in the livings of my life. And it's like, that's just how capitalism works. But I mean, what I'm saying is like, it's gotten so bad, this idea that like it truly doesn't matter what you do as long as you are not even morally superior, you are just the victor.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you did it. It doesn't matter how terrible and disgusting you have to be to achieve your aims. The ends justify the means. And the message of this movie is that's not true. That the way you comport yourself in life and in war, what do they say? It's like the way that you treat the lowest person in your life is a good example of how the type of person you are,
Yeah.
right? I'm sure I butchered that, but like, I feel like that's like a strong message here, which is to say, be morally upstanding, even in the face of these extreme circumstances. And it perpetuates a better world is like the message. I mean, obviously it's like the inverted message of what the movie's saying, which is if you don't do that, here's what happens to you. You'll get chopped, your head will get chopped off or eaten by a cyclops, etc. Metaphorically speaking, obviously. Yeah. I don't know. Does that resonate with you? Like, does it sound, am I crazy?
No, like you are crazy, but
crazy like a fox though, right?
I don't know. Just live how you need to live. Have your morals, and everybody love everybody.
Well, see, those
Jackie
two
Moon.
things. See, those two
They don't
things
go together.
Those two things can't really.
But
not really. They're a little like opposed, counter to each other. Because it's like you can't just be self-serving all the time. Because if that's how we got into this mess. Like,
but everyone,
like
he wasn't the only one like that back then. Look at all the suitors; they were just.
No, they're all terrible.
Scumbags.
A lot of them are terrible.
Yeah.
100%. That movie's not saying that everyone is terrible. They're saying that in the pursuit of victory at all costs, including, by the way, the trying to marry his wife, the pursuit of that everything is tainted, right? That the journey becomes perverted by when you use kind of perverted means. You know what I'm saying?
Got to make sacrifices. But where would they be if he didn't do it?
They would just lose the war and go home.
Okay, but then what?
Nothing.
What do you think the world would look like?
In ancient Greece?
Yeah.
Probably better than how they ended up. Probably better for everybody, including like Agamemnon, who gets killed shortly after he gets home.
He does. Yeah. Well, he did kill his own daughter.
Oh, yeah, man. Sacrificing your daughter. Big.
So he kind of deserved that one.
Yeah, but like, again, that was also done in pursuit of victory at all. He did that because he wanted favorable wins.
Yeah. And he got him.
It's not the, it's like, again, it's like, I get you got what you wanted, but at what cost? Not just the immediate cost, but like you've now also, turned your wife against you forever, right?
How badass did he look though?
Oh my god, so cool.
Like,
It's like Batman
He looked like Batman and Darth Vader combined.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not necessarily played by the most
You don't like the Safdies?
I just don't think he's the most intimidating person.
No, he doesn't need to. No.
Benny
But-
Safdie. He just like he
It
takes
seems
his
like it
helmet
could
off.
have
He's
been
like,
anybody.
"Hey guys, it's me, Benny Safdie."
Yeah. I like them. I like their movies.
I like
They
them
get
too.
a lot of flack.
Listen, I'm sure you liked Uncut Gems because it's a
I did.
a gritty
Sandler.
basketball movie.
There's a lot of
with-
yelling
with
in it,
Sandler
though.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he looked badass in this movie.
He barely says anything.
Doesn't-
What are the? I mean, first of all, I'll say, as I said before, this movie's so good looking. Everything looks so good. They do so much with natural lighting. There's this one shot where they drop this torch over the wall of Troy.
Yeah.
Because Agamemnon's army's like waiting outside with no light, but no one can tell. And he just drops it down and it just like reveals like, must be 50 people, right? And you're like, holy shit. Because it's like, just that shot alone is so cool to me. I love
that
that.
was wild when they opened the gates and then they just came flying in.
Yeah. I mean, everything is cool. So I'll take this moment, speaking of how cool everything looks, to talk about my own personal Odyssey. Okay.
Let's hear it.
So, as you know, dear listener and Matt, this movie was shot by Christopher Nolan. His intended visual means, he's like, the best way to watch this, the way he saw it in his mind's eye, was 70 millimeter full IMAX.
To see it in Regina.
I mean, technically, it's like if you saw it in Regina, then he's like, you've achieved my dream.
That is pretty sick.
So you know how? Do you know? Understand? Like you got the gist of what a 70 millimeter film reel is. So it's like it's a typical 70 millimeter film strip turned on its side, essentially. So it's taller than it is wide, barely, right?
Yeah.
It's basically almost a full square.
Yeah.
And like 1x143 or something like that. And so it's huge. There's only like 4 cameras in the world that shoot on IMAX. I'm not going to get into the whole like story of it, but like essentially IMAX as a format was created for like scientific films and like museum movies and stuff. To be like, isn't it crazy that you're surrounded by dolphins is like the like original like vision for IMAX. Christopher Nolan saw those movies as a kid and he thought, why aren't other movies made like this? And then he dedicated his entire career to making these movies. And I don't know, 15 years ago is when our IMAX in Winnipeg closed for good.
Yeah.
But we had a full-size IMAX here. It was fully equipped.
I saw a Led Zeppelin movie on it.
I saw Dark Knight there. I've seen other stuff. The first movie I saw was a dinosaur movie as a kid. It scared the shit out of me. I saw Dark Knight, and at that first sequence, that like the opening sequence, the bank heist sequence, and then the sequence where he busts through the window in like Hong Kong or whatever.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Those were all in full screen IMAX at the time, and it expanded to fill the whole screen, and it was crazy. And I was like, wow, this is impressive. I remember seeing The Dark Knight Rises there and a few other movies. But there wasn't a lot of quote unquote true IMAX films being made. At one point around the time of Dark Knight Rises, they brought around this idea of like the Limax, they call it, which is a big screen, but it's not an IMAX screen, right? It's not the 4 stories tall screen that a true IMAX screen is. Do you remember how tall? Do you remember how big a true IMAX screen is, Matt?
It's huge.
It's huge. I feel like if you haven't seen one before, it's hard
you feel
to like
tiny next to it.
It's hard to like even understand the scale we're talking with. And it's like if you haven't seen one in years, do yourself a favor and go check one out because it's way freaking bigger than you remember. So they announced these ideas, like they launched this idea of Limax, which kept the business alive. So I guess that's something. We have one of those at our Polo Park Theater here, right? There's an IMAX screen. That screen is maybe a quarter the size of what a true IMAX screen is.
Yeah, it's not that.
It's nothing close to as big. And the aspect ratio is completely off. Like it's way wider than it is tall. And while it is quite large and considered quote unquote large format, it's not a true IMAX screen. nor is it able to project in film. It only does digital filming. So that's all to say that there are 42 locations on planet Earth that have the equipment to run 70 millimeter film, because again, this movie was shot on film because Christopher Nolan's obsessed with film. He went to Kodak for Oppenheimer to have them invent a new IMAX film stock specifically for black and white, because he filmed that movie in black and white, right? So he is like a machine. Like he is his own. He's a god.
It's a lot of power.
Yes. He talks about, by the way, how he like doesn't use email and stuff. It's like, listen, only billionaires can talk about how they don't use email.
Doesn't use email?
It's like, I wish I didn't have to use email.
I wish.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I live in the real world and I have to. So must be nice, Christopher Nolan. But anyway, so his intended vision was a movie shot on film, projected on film, that could only be seen in 42 locations in the world. So just think about that for a moment. It's kind of crazy that he got as much money as he did just for that concept alone. He shoots for that, but he also shoots to be able to, reformat it into different types of different formats. Regular 70 millimeter, large format, and then regular or like and like 16:9 and all that kind of stuff. So it's all been he has all that considered, but the true best way to see it, according to him, was in 70 millimeter film projection, full IMAX screen. And for the record, the 70 millimeter IMAX celluloid is equivalent to like 16K in terms of resolution. So it's like the best visual quality you could achieve at that size in the world that's ever been done. And this is the first movie that's ever been shot 100% with IMAX cameras. They invented these like coffins that go around the cameras because they're so loud. So they were to reduce the noise of the camera so that they could do dialogue scenes with the cameras up close. Their cameras are so big that they use mirrors so that people could look at each other when the camera was right next to each other, so that it didn't take up like space in their vision. Isn't that crazy?
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think I saw a video on how loud they were. And I was like, oh, this doesn't seem like a peaceful day.
Yeah, it's super loud.
Yeah.
And they can only shoot for like a short amount of time, like in a row. So there's no like super long sequences that you can do with an IMAX camera, because you can only shoot for like, I want to say like not even 5 minutes, like 3 minutes at a time, I think, is the longest shot you can do before you need to like reload the film.
Yeah, that's
also, they're impossible
not
to edit
convenient. Yeah.
because you have to use an old, like there's like 4 editing bays in the world that can do it.
It'd be sick if every theater had one, but
I mean, I get it. It's not practical.
No.
It's not practical
no,
to a
not
ship.
at all.
These
But
film
people
reels,
want
by
it.
the way, weigh like a ton. Like
Yeah.
they're like literally weigh so much. They need to bring in projectionists from all like which is that even a job still? I guess so.
Yeah.
Just because Christopher Nolan said so, there's still
Yeah.
projectionists around. They don't have the technology apparently to make new projectors, right? They have these 42. That's
How
like
do they
all
not have the technology to do that?
They don't know how to do it anymore. Because again, it's like these are devices that were built in like the early 80s, and like they just don't have the components to do it. So I don't know. It's like, so they basically keep them running as long as they can. They repair them. If you'd seen this, by the way, it's like, I guess it's like order operations would be 70 millimeter film IMAX, right?
Yeah.
And then digital projection full skies IMAX would be the next best thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it'd be like 70 millimeter, like regular 70 millimeter, which is smaller. And then, like it just gets like, and then you would just go smaller and smaller and smaller.
Until you get to cell phone.
Until you get onto
Or like airplane.
So do Apple Watch.
Airplane, yeah.
Yeah. But like, so this is all to say, this has been like a big thing. And like, there's these theaters that play them are sold out for months, like playing these movies, which is, by the way, part of the reason that Spider-Man wasn't out in IMAX, because it came out around the same time and those theaters are taken. I wouldn't be surprised if they're still being used like, 4 months from now.
How long is it running?
I think as long as they can keep making money off those, because it's like the minute you stop projecting in 70 millimeter and you have to ship those reels back, it'll never come back. I mean, you might get to see, if you're lucky, maybe in LA, you might see some like screening in like 10 years. That's like, oh, Nolan brought his own personal copy that he has and he's going to project it.
Sitting in that warehouse in Indiana Jones.
Exactly.
And it's just
I don't know, but I would say this like element of it being like, hey, there's this like ideal version to see and it can only be seen in these like very specific locations. By the way, you might live in it. There's some areas in like the US where there's like 3 or 4 like actual IMAX screens, like full size, but only one of them can project 70 millimeter and the others are all digital. So it's like figuring out what those were is like hard to do. Like you need to learn all those things. Fortunately for Oppenheimer, I learned that we had a theater close to us and it was 5 hours away by car.
It's amazing that it's there
in Regina.
In all the cities we have.
It's not that crazy because there's one in almost every major Canadian city. And the reason for that is because IMAX was invented by a Canadian.
Okay, that would do it.
I believe that like there's a strong Canadian element. I feel like maybe that word, like what IMAX was invented is maybe too simplified, but like there is a major Canadian like presence in how that all works.
Was there a Canadian heritage moment?
There should be. And again, I will never get over how upset I am that we don't have a true IMAX here anymore just because we built it in a stupid mall.
Yeah.
And it's like, what a shame.
The mall's gone now.
What an actual,
not yet,
what an actual shame. And like, they don't build new full-size IMAXs anymure. That just doesn't happen. So it's like, anyway, so there's one in Regina, there's one in Calgary, there's one in Edmonton, there's one in Vancouver, there's one in Toronto. They're all over, right? So of the 42, there's like 5 of them in Canada, which is like a lot comparatively. And then there's a bunch in the States and then like a handful around the world. And so I found out, Oppenheimer, I made that trip for Barbenheimer. I went and watched Barbie in regular movie theater there and then Oppenheimer in 70 millimeter IMAX. And if you haven't been to an IMAX screening of this type, they have an usher come out and they like explain to you a lot of this stuff where they're like, there's only 42 locations. This is one of them. We can project this in full 77 millimeter. People clap, by the way. You just
stole what he's
No. This is like internet information as well. But like, and then they talk about like the full dimensions of the screen and like they ask like how many people are here from out of town, how many people are here from out of province, how many people are from out of the country, and like there's people there from Switzerland and Sweden. And I don't know if they went, like maybe they were already in Canada and then got the chance to see it. I don't know if they traveled directly specifically to Regina to see that, but that's what I did. I showed up the evening of the movie, a Wednesday night, checked into our hotel, went and got a glass of wine at the this like bar nearby.
Yeah.
And then watched the 10 p.m. screening of this, which by the way didn't get out till 1 a.m. And then checked out the next morning and we're off to go camping after that. So it's like we literally just came to Regina for
there's nothing else there worthwhile.
So in retrospect, I wish I had seen Top Gun Maverick in full IMAX. That would have been freaking cool. And that's basically it. Like if I had to drive for another movie like this, it would have been Top Gun Maverick if I had known. But that movie came out the year before Oppenheimer. And then this one being the only movie that was filmed in fully in IMAX, because Oppenheimer, despite being mostly in IMAX, did have the occasional shot where the aspect ratio would shrink down. So,
can we find out what's coming out on IMAX?
Like, what are the next like major? There's like none.
Is there
like the last movie that was before Oppenheimer or before Odyssey was Sinners.
And that's not really like needed on IMAX.
70 millimeter movie. It's going to be something like, Avengers or something like that. Dune Part 3.
Okay.
That's the next one. That's in 70 millimeter.
You're gonna go
but
for
it's
that
not
one?
in. But it's not in. It's not in film. right?
Okay.
So no, I will not be driving for this.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's cool to think like, but again, it would have to be specific movies. I make these trips specifically for Nolan because he cares about it. And so it's like, if the guy who made the movie is like, this is the only way to see it, then I gotta make the trip. What's a 5-hour drive? Come on. That's
It's not bad
literally
at all.
for the movie's 3 hours. It's like from just like a time perspective, it's not even that
I'm surprised
bad.
you only went once.
If I was there if I could be there for longer, I'd probably go see it like again the next day. And then they extended their screening. I had originally booked mine. It was going to be the last screening they were doing, which was 3 weeks after the movie came out. And
There you go.
they
right
extended
through
it
September.
another like month and a half. They're doing and added additional screenings. They're doing 3 a day. They were originally doing 2. They're doing 3 screenings a day for a month and a half, and they're like sold out every single day. It's crazy, dude.
It's pretty cool.
So
Okay, so September 16th.
yeah, for Dune.
No, for Odyssey. Is when it's ending.
Yeah, basically.
Coming up.
I mean, yeah, runs through September 16th in select specialized venues. And by the way, the IMAX in Regina is in a science museum. So anyway, it's really cool. I mean, they certainly embraced it, like how they like take on this idea of this like monumental task of projecting this movie, and they bring in projectionists, and it's this whole thing. And then when I went to see Oppenheimer, they had said how their projector had like broken down earlier that day, but they got it fixed just in time for our screening, and it was like a whole thing. So, you know, it's cool, and it's like to make a big trip for something called the Odyssey, which is about a big trip. It feels like it works, you know, like there's some poetry there, right?
But you made it home in 5 hours.
Yeah, I didn't take.
Unlike
did take the scenic route.
Unlike Matt Damon.
I did take the scenic route. I went and we drove through Dauphin to get to Clear Lake. So,
okay.
you know, there's something to be
No
said.
Cyclops.
No, not even. There's hardly a car.
No Cersei.
Okay, let's talk about the movie a little bit more. Is there which of his stops along the way was your most like memorable? Maybe
the Cersei one was pretty good because I just read a book from. It was called Cersei. I forget the author now, but I liked that one. It was good. It was a little messed up. Felt kind of very horror-ish. The way she was just morphing them into pigs.
Dude, that's so gross.
Yeah. Just watching him eat and just like it was
the way that
creepy.
I've never seen people eat in such a gross way.
No, it was disgusting.
But like, if you haven't eaten in like a month, I feel like you probably would eat.
Oh, you would just
similar.
you'd be right in there gorging.
Yeah.
And then the way Damon came back in there was just like, where's? He was
but,
onto
like,
it.
He was but only because he killed that guy. And it turns out that guy was he killed that deer, and the deer was also a guy.
Yeah. But like pretty nuts to nail that though. You're like, okay, my guys probably aren't humans anymore, but here we are. Yeah, and then also I guess the Calypso scenes were pretty boring.
They're basically not even.
No.
It's okay. I would argue that the Calypso stuff is the least compelling, although some of the coolest like photography, right? Like
There were some
the
cool
shot
shots.
of those beaches and
Yeah.
like
It looked like a fun place to be.
really there wasn't the only
I just
thing
mean,
to
like,
eat
if you're him
was
with
lotus leaves.
Yeah.
So it's like, by the way, do lotus leaves actually get you high in real life? Is that a thing?
I don't know. Maybe it's like poppy seeds.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Just messing them up. Opium.
I put poppy seeds on my buns.
So
What the heck?
I once, when I was working for the railway, was
Uh-huh.
supervising a bunch of contractors.
Dude, we're working for the rail.
And so one of my guys backed over some derail, and I'm like, okay, I had to
What does
take
that
him out
mean?
of service. So he just derailed his truck
Oh, okay.
on the rail. So I'm like, okay. And previously, like the day before, he messed up too. So I was like, okay, like I got to take you out of service here. Like, I had to give him a drug test. We're in like Foleyet in northwestern Ontario. Like it's fucking 3 hours from Sudbury or whatever, Toronto. It's not easy to get to. So he tells me that as I'm like have the person coming to take the drug test for him, he's like, hey, just so you know, like if it shows that I'm like high or something, it's like I had a lot of poppy seed bagels at the hotel. I was like, did you just
No
fucking
way.
say that to me?
He's like, you were shooting up heroin?
I
I was
was
like,
like-
what the heck?
How many poppy seed muffins and bagels did you have to eat for to show that you're high on this drug test? I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you couldn't even just like be honest. I was like, I'll never forget that moment because it blew my mind that he came up with a lie that I would have told my parents when I was like 16.
How many poppy seed bagels test positive? Even a single poppy seed bagel can cause a positive drug test for opiates like morphine and codeine.
No, this guy was,
There's no safe magic number.
but this
because the
guy
amount
was
of
a
opiate residue.
stoner from the get-go.
So you think he was an opioid
He was
junkie?
I could smell him smoking weed random times.
Well, smoking weed is not the same as being
no, but like I
on
knew
opiates.
No, but when this happened, I was like, when he's like, I had a lot of poppy seeds at the hotel. I was like, how many did they have? Like, get out of here.
That's crazy. He's like, I was eating 10 a day.
Yeah, I was
You were
like,
eating 10 a day? That's like 4 slices of bread per.
yeah, he was full. But anyways, shout out to Richard.
That's
But I guess lotus sleeves would do that to you. Who knows? Okay, how about this though?
Okay.
Thoughts on Damon? Killing it.
honestly, I thought he was
Like,
pretty great.
I thought he was pretty great too.
Sometimes it felt like he was sleeping, like he was kind of sleepwalking through parts of it. But then
He
by
was
the
probably tired.
by
10-year
the
journey.
by the end, where he's coming back and he's like pretending to be this beggar
Just
or
like
whatever,
a beggar, yeah.
unbelievable.
Him and
in my
Leguizamo?
opinion. By the way, John Leguizamo, secretly the best character in the.
So
in the-
good.
like he's so sick.
Love legs.
Also, who would think to cast Leguizamo for that role? But he's like
Nailed it.
unbelievably compelling. I feel
Yeah.
like.
What were your thoughts on how the uproar on all the casting? When
Well,
you-
it's stupid. This
when you
movie's
saw the
great.
movie.
What there can't be. There's not a single thing that those people were complaining
no,
about.
it was
that makes
great.
sense.
And also, if you were on that side of complaining about it, the ones that they're complaining about,
It's like,
weren't
it's not-
even in that movie that long.
So to be clear, yeah, well, Helen of Troy is in the movie for like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
I would say if you were complaining that, oh well, Helen was probably not black. Okay.
yeah,
There probably also wasn't a Cyclops. So
yeah.
like, I don't
Also,
know,
it's a
I don't
story.
know what to tell you.
Like, you know what I mean? It's a story.
Yeah, it's where this is. This was a story even to the ancient Greeks. Like, you know, like I just don't understand. I've just never really understood any of that stuff. It all just feels like
Yeah.
we're not arguing in good faith.
No,
And it's just you're just here to be like, you want to make a
I
stink.
will say the one I didn't like
Casting wise.
was. Let me see if you can guess it. I'll give you one guess for who it is.
Who do you? Tom Holland.
No.
Oh, really?
Sean Avery.
Sean Avery's in the movie?
Yeah, he's been in a handful of movies.
Sean Avery, like the hockey player?
Yeah,
Is in
he's
the Odyssey?
he's one of the soldiers.
No way.
Yeah, he's in it. He's been in like a handful of movies. I think a
How do
couple
you even
of Nolan
recognize him?
Because I know him because I can't stand him. I hated him on
oh
the
yeah,
ice.
Sean Avery. He was Ledamos.
Yeah, whatever. So go to his, but he's been in like some big ones, like some of the biggest movies ever. And I just hated him on the ice so much.
He was the guy. They invented his own. They had to make a rule just for him.
Yeah. He was so annoying to watch. But our friends once got him to do a cameo for a happy birthday.
Yeah.
And they paid for like 30 seconds and he did like 3 minutes just hanging outside on his LA house, just like, Mitch, you beauty, and just like talking.
Oh
He
my
just
God,
went
that's
off. So
so
it's like,
funny.
okay, he's slowly getting
So yeah, he
winning
was
me over,
in
but
Patriot Days.
Oppenheimer.
Amsterdam, Oppenheimer.
Tenet.
He was Weatherman in Oppenheimer. I mean, I guess it's like he has enough money to like get like these tiny roles.
Yeah. But he's in the Odyssey. Like, how sick
Did
is
you
that?
say? Did he have a line?
I think so. When they eat that cow on,
Oh, really? On the
I think he's there.
the God's Island, or
yeah,
whatever.
something like that. But yeah. So that would be the one where I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, no, obviously. So, didn't know that.
Only for hockey purposes. Like,
yeah, screw that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, the Sean Avery rule is that you can't stand in front of the goalie, facing the goalie,
You're back to the puck.
and you're back to the puck, and just try to screen the goalie by
Just to
waving your
get under
stick
the
in front
goalies.
of their
As a
face.
goalie, if I saw that guy doing that, I would just literally pull his skates out and I'd trip him. He would work on me. I would knock him out.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Well, I would try to. with my
Obviously, the
but-
blocker to the neck is the
Oh
go-to
yeah, I'd
move.
go. It would be or just stick up to the groin.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, Casting wise was pretty good.
I'm just imagining. I'm just thinking back to the shot that they always use, like the clip that they would use when they're like, oh yeah, they outlawed this, and he's just like waving the stick in front of his face, and he's like going back and forth,
right in
and
front
you're like, this guy sucks.
You're like, get the hell out of here.
It's like, you're clearly bastard. He's like, well, no one's ever thought to do this before. Yeah,
it's like, just play
there's
the game.
There's a good reason. There's a good reason.
But yeah, he's been in some big movies.
I really like. Okay, like, did you like his crew generally? Like, I thought everyone was cool.
Yeah,
minus Sean Avery, obviously.
Liked his crew. Had a feeling the mutiny was coming. Sure enough.
It wasn't really a mutiny though. It was kind of like he's like, well, the mutiny's up to you. Like,
yeah.
Which, by the way, so
it's a nice way to do it.
Yeah, which is like, okay, if you don't let us do whatever we want, then it's a mutiny, which is a little bit like blackmail, but whatever.
Yeah.
Some of the backlash was around the dialogue being too contemporary. Do you agree with that being?
Well, I mean, it was. He used modern language, but it's fine.
I also think it's fine. Again, the story's 3,000 years old. It's being told in 2026.
I feel like
so. It's like
if they used what they were supposed to use and stay true to the.
Well, so it's just all in ancient Greek. Yeah, we wouldn't know what the heck they're saying. It's all the actors learned ancient Greek, and it's all subtitled.
But no. Say even if this had an accent, like it's
or it's like, or maybe it's like maybe the dialogue's more like Shakespearean, and like it had.
What was the Ben Affleck Shakespeare movie?
Romeo and Juliet?
No, that's Leo.
That's the Leo one. Yeah. I don't know.
Midsummer Night Dream or something like that.
Okay, but there's a lot of them where they just like it's all in.
And they just try, and you're like, don't do this.
The thing is, that stuff, it's very artsy, right? Which is to say, like, it's full of metaphors, and it's got a lot it's layered and interesting, and that might be true, but like Nolan I don't feel like he's that type of writer. And secondly, he's trying to tell he's trying to convey the story as partially as written. He's obviously not doing like a 1-for-1 retelling. It would be too long. It'd be like, okay, we made an 8-hour movie. You have to sit in each platter of film weighs 10 tons, something like that. Anyway, it's a very specific message he's trying to send. We talked about it earlier, like this, like corrupting of the moral fibers of society, and like what that means and why, and like as it crumbles away, the cost of war on a person, and maybe it robs the movie of like a little bit of like false drama, which is to say, like when people speak in a British accent, maybe it feels a little bit more dramatic, right? But like, it also doesn't make any sense. No. So it's like, instead, everyone's going to talk like Matt Damon.
Yeah.
And like, that's fine.
You want him talking like Austin Powers?
That'd be funny.
I liked it. It worked.
Yeah, I agree.
I had no complaints about it.
I don't feel like you even notice it.
No.
I feel like it all just like, oh, I understand what they're trying to say. It's all very...
Yeah.
They're just speaking
it's not
like...
taking me out of the movie.
And they're not saying, oh, yeah, Odysseus had all the riz. It's like, they're not saying stuff like... That's like, they're using modern slang. Like, yeah, look, they're like, oh, Tom Holland said dad instead of father. It's like, well, I'm pretty sure there was shorthand for dad, like for father, whether it was dad or something else, forever. Like, Papa, Pop, something, like this is like an interpretation of what he might have said, his version of what the shorthand for father was. And we just understand it to be dad because we live in modern life. It's like in Star Wars, if I can use a Star Wars example, everyone speaks galactic basic, okay? Which is just English.
Yeah, okay.
And in English, we have a lot of like colloquialisms and, sayings that relate to the human experience, right? And occasionally in Star Wars, they use those sayings, and it's like, well, that makes no sense. There's no such thing as like, it's like, oh, clever like a fox. I'm not saying this is something they use, but it's like, there's no foxes in Star Wars. How would they know what that means? You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, this is a movie being shot on planet Earth to be watched by human beings that speak English. Did you understand the message that was being conveyed to you? Like what they were trying to say, was it be clear to you? Then that's it. That makes sense. Yeah. It's like, maybe it would make sense for them to say, Jesus Christ. Like that probably wouldn't make any sense, right?
No.
I think at one point, Han Solo says, "Go to hell," right? And it's like, well, what's hell in Star Wars? It's like, well, who gives a shit?
The lava planet. Which one's that one?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Mustafar.
Yeah.
It's pretty hellish. You agreed, but again, based on what the Roman Catholic interpretation of hell. So, like, again, it doesn't matter as long as you understand the message that's being conveyed. Ultimately, at the end of the day.
Okay, how would you like it if you had 50 suitors in your house and they wouldn't leave?
Oh, say, wait, am I Odysseus?
You're Odysseus. You're you.
Okay.
And then you.
But is it my mom that these suitors are looking looking for, or is it my wife that they're looking for?
It's your girlfriend.
Okay. Well, So Sam is waiting. First of all, she's no way she's waiting 10 years for me to come back.
Okay, so let's say it's your Odyssey coming home from Regina.
She would assume that I've
So she's got 50 guys here for an hour.
Okay, we're condensing it down.
Yeah.
So I drove to Regina for a weekend.
Yeah.
And she stayed here, and there was 50 guys in my house.
Yeah, wanting food and drinks.
Right. So that they can, in case I don't come back.
And then one wants to marry her.
In case I don't come back.
In case you don't come back.
Okay. And it's also my best friend's son that wants to marry her, who's 15.
Correct.
I would feel.
Would you enjoy your time away?
Well, so here's the thing. I don't think that we get the impression that Odysseus understands that that's going on. He might have assumed. First of all, he doesn't know what the fuck's happening for 7 years because he's high on lotus leaf. So there's that part. And he's also pretty busy with like trying to stay alive the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Right. So he's a little preoccupied. He does find out later. Right. And then he's like, yes, but I'm going to take the lesson I learned from when I talked to Hades. By the way, that sequence where they go to Iceland.
It's sweet.
It's freaking cool. Like, meet where the river of ice meets the river of fire.
Yeah.
And it's like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your entire life. And it's really cool. Like just the dead giving them the dead Agamemnon, just like being like, don't do what I did. Don't just come back and expect things to be rosy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he knows to expect that and then is like smart about it. Right. If he maybe was, more of his hot-headed self that he was at the beginning of the movie, when just after the war, he might have just stormed in there and then probably died in the ensuing battle, right? And he almost does die in the.
I thought he was.
He gets stabbed several times.
Many arrows going to him.
Yeah, but he also.
He takes some numbers.
Some of them, yeah. How sick is it when he's just like stringing that bow?
Oh, when he does the little twang.
Yeah.
So
Boom.
Good. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. And then like, that's a sick action sequence. I know people were saying like, oh, well, it's not the most compelling action sequence. There's a lot of
Who's saying this? Where are you getting all your...
I just see stuff online or different podcasts. I
You
hear
go
people talking
online
about
too
it.
much.
But 100% I am. But
Yeah.
we're not here. This is not what we're here to talk about. So like, yeah, I mean, I agree that action sequence isn't like perfect. Like there's way better action sequence. Like I watched that Kung Fu movie earlier this year that like had some of the coolest action I've ever seen. It wasn't like that, but
do you think the fighting was like that back in the day? Just giant swords and just like awkward, like they're not.
I think it was pretty awkward.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's pretty funny. The guy's like, "Here, take these swords, drop them through the floor,
just dropping them down."
And then also, Pattinson sitting there being like,
shit,
go get the spears, get the spears.
He nails his part. He's such a.
He comes off as a real piece of shit, and it works.
Yeah.
It does work. How would I feel? Okay, so back to your question.
You would not have a good time.
Wait. Question. So I know about the sequence. I know about what's going on the whole time, or
you know about it. You have a feeling about it.
If we want to be true to the metaphor, I don't find out until I talk to someone who's dead. On my way back. Okay. So I stop in. You
see how about this? You see a post on Instagram about people partying in your house.
I stop in Moosomin and I'm like, I see a post on Instagram and I say, oh fuck, there's people in my house, and I can't call them for some. I can't call Sam for some reason.
Cell phone's dead. After that,
I see that thing and then boom.
Yeah,
oh man, that would stress me out. Okay, so I'm rushing back, but then in Brandon, I have a conversation with some dead people.
Yeah,
just outside Brandon.
You go to the Canadians. You go water sliding. You stop and go water sliding for a bit.
Oh no, I
And
go
you
down
lose you lose your shorts, and you have to go and buy new shorts.
I go down the scenic route of
Yeah.
the Pembina Valley there, and
Yeah.
then
There's a flooding.
yes,
There's always
exactly.
floods.
Yeah, and then
So how would
I
you
talk
feel
to that
then?
person, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Don't just storm in," right?
Yeah.
So I get back, and I put on like a hoodie,
Yeah.
and
You're like, I'm
like
just one
I
of the
put on a
guys.
hoodie, and I just like come in and I'm
You
like,
go through
"Yo,
your little
what's
trap
up?
door in the
What's up?"
basement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I go out and I go, "What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone?" It's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'm cool. I'm like you guys." And then how do I get everyone out? Is the question. Do I like I pull a fire alarm or something?
No, you'd have to like. They're like, no one here can open this bottle of wine, and then you do it with like this
Right.
random corkscrew that you
Right.
know how to operate.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, "Whoa!" And then you have to like.
And then
outdo
Sam's
them.
like, there's only one person I know that.
And
can
when
open
she
it."
hears that pop, she's like, "Woo!" And it just
She has
like sends a
little
chill up her
fluttery.
spine.
Yeah.
So that'd be like the equivalent of it.
Okay. Perfect. But I'm glad we brainstormed that.
Yeah.
We workshopped that one. No notes.
No, it's okay.
Okay. So yeah, I think ultimately, I think the first half of the movie feels like very good. I think this back half of the movie feels a little slow, but like none of it feels like unnecessary, right? It all feels like
They're all
Needed.
important
Yeah.
scenes, and yeah,
like what else would you cut out? I heard some people talking about they would cut out the scenes with John Bernthal. Like that's just not as important.
Like-
And you could argue, yeah, maybe, but then Tom Holland has less to do. And I feel like it gives Tom Holland a lot more of like, he becomes a lot more likable after he leaves the house. Cause I feel like,
yeah, he's just like a little kid.
yeah,
He's just
he's
a
like,
whiner.
oh, I have to deal with all these freaking people trying to date my mom.
yeah, that'd be so.
Yeah. And he's like,
brutal.
I just want to be king. And then, I was like, oh yeah, no, you'll still be king until I have a son, in which case then I'll obviously kill you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So Penelope just sits in that room all day
Mhm.
and just like,
And I guess presumably she's doing this quilt, but then she's undoing it at night.
yeah. But like, that's a boring.
I liked her when she's like, I want Odysseus. And she like screamed. I thought that
Yeah.
I thought that felt appropriate. Because again, just to reiterate, I don't think there's any way in hell that Sam would have waited 10 years assuming I was still alive. She would have for sure moved on.
There's no
Probably
way-
within 2 years, if not
Say-
sooner.
How about this? Say you went to jail for 16 months.
Okay.
Would she wait for you?
16 months? Well, not because I went to jail and I don't think she has a lot of respect for felons.
Okay, well,
So let's say no. I think the more question is like, I was sent to work in the Arctic for 16 months, which she would never visit because she hates the cold.
okay, fair enough.
But it's a good opportunity for me, right? Or I have to go because it's like I've been drafted into something, so I don't have a choice.
You
Right.
you pick an extra $5,000.
That's
on
it?
your- yeah.
No, my God, that's not worth
So she'd be like, "What? You left me for $5,000?"
it. But-
Either way, 16 months.
Yeah.
Would she wait for you?
No. 16 months?
I wouldn't wait for somebody.
16 is a long time.
I think if my wife left for
16 months is a long time.
I'd be like, all right, well,
That's a year and a half, right? Like,
that's not even that long.
okay, I'd say 2 years. Let's use 2 years as the bar. I think it depends, but I think the chances would be, I would say yes, if I knew for sure they were alive the whole time. Different story if I thought they were probably dead, which is like the situation here.
Yeah, like if you're texting every freaking day,
Yeah.
FaceTiming.
Obviously, you're writing handwritten letters and putting them in the mail.
Yeah. But if you have no contact, you're like, I'll be back in.
And then
2
you hear
months, and I'll be
nothing
back
from
in 2
them.
years.
But do you expect to not hear anything from them?
No, well, if you don't.
Okay,
then
here's the thing.
If you, yeah, either way, I would.
No. I think that's the context important, because if someone is like, I'm leaving for even 6 months, let's say 6 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaving for 6 months. You won't hear a word from me for 6 months, but I can't wait to see you when I get back.
That's a
Right?
breakup.
And you come back, and they're like moved out, or like they're dating someone else or something. It's like, what the hell? This is what we agreed on. But it's like, well, it was different for me here alone or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah. I've done this long distance shit with work,
and
doing like week and week, just by a week on, week off. And that alone is fucking way too long.
a week too
Yeah.
long.
Sometimes.
You did say that you're like, I would just let me move into them right away. So you did say
Yeah.
that to me. So like, I do think long distance relationships are very difficult. That would be
Yeah.
that's my understanding of it. I've never had to do anything
They're not enjoyable.
very long.
But okay, so they don't know when you're coming back.
They don't know when I'm coming back, and and you can't connect with them or talk to them in
Yeah.
any way.
No,
There's no way they stay.
you just hear stories.
I
of
think
them.
maybe, yeah, you just, no, but the thing is, they don't even hear stories. They only hear the same story over and over
the same
again.
story.
It's like, oh, we heard that he's
the best.
We heard that he caught the sickest wave
Yeah,
off the coast of Malibu.
yeah. Then
And-
my wife would leave me, in a
And then
second.
but then was never heard from again
Yeah.
after that. And then it's like, yeah, no, they're not staying. They're not like, but also it's not ancient Greece, right? It's like, there's so many more layers here because she's also in charge of the kingdom, right? So she's basically de facto queen,
Mhm.
right? In charge. And people are like, well, we can't leave a queen in charge. That's crazy. We're all sexist. So
Yeah,
we're not allowed. That's not allowed. So there has to be some other element to it. It's like, oh, you're leaving them, but they also have to watch over your, you have an acreage, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere. And it's like, they have to watch over your acreage. And then you get back and they've married somebody else and the acreage now belongs to someone else.
Yeah.
Like that. It's like, that's what we're talking about. Those are the stakes.
that'd be brutal.
So it's like, how long do you wait? It's like, well, you can't just marry this other person. It's like, you'd have to go and like, declare the person dead, right? And then they'd have to go through that whole process. And like,
I feel like they would have killed her a lot sooner.
well, I
And
guess,
just
but she has people like who are loyal to her, right?
Like who?
Like her.
John Leguizamo?
Well, yes, but also I think I get the impression that Odysseus left like soldiers behind that were loyal
They
to
don't
him.
really
in the
see
family.
too many of them though.
No, but there's
You
also
only
that
see
wooden
just-
screen that she's behind that they obviously
Yeah,
can't,
they can't get through that.
Yeah.
No.
Zeus's law, which is that like you have to treat everyone nice because what if they're actually a god in disguise?
Karma.
Well, yeah, I get what yes, it was like you have to be careful of it. Yes, that's a part of it. But like the god in disguise part is funny because even the movie's like, oh yeah, because you're a god in disguise. Sure, buddy.
Yeah. They all believe it.
Well, it's because if you get it wrong, there's so many Greek stories of like, oh, this god pretended to be this, and then they were treated like shit, and then they turned them into tar or something crazy, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, or they have to carry a boulder up a wall forever or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's always
I mean, that's not a great example. That's a Titan, but still, no, wait, no, the Titan is the Olympus or not Olympus. The one that carries the world on his shoulders. But then there's the other story about pushing the boulder up.
So Ryan Hurst, this was the guy who was
Mentor, yeah.
supposed to be Kratos.
He's the original Kratos?
Well, no, like for the upcoming show.
Yeah, before
But
he got hurt.
Tore his bicep.
Yeah. You saw the new guy? Looks better, by the way.
I didn't actually, no.
He looks cool. Google it, the new Kratos.
Probably not even in here.
Well, he would be upcoming, maybe. He'll probably
They
get
kicked him
credited.
out? No.
Oh, I guess
They
maybe
already-
uncredited.
They
No.
already got rid of him.
Yeah. Oh wait, God of War Ragnarok. Oh yeah, because he played
'Cause he was
Thor.
Thor,
He was
yeah.
Thor in the game. Yeah. Yeah. There's a new guy cast. This is no. This is the game.
He wouldn't be in here.
You're looking at the game.
Yeah, but maybe it'll lead me
More
to
like this. Yeah. These are just all their video games.
The games are so sweet.
Yeah.
They're so sweet.
Okay. So
This one's so good. And this one.
do you wish there Athena is Zendaya, by the way. So
Mhm.
she's the embodied by that like servant girl who was killed.
Yep.
Right. By the way, that scene has someone cut off the head of the statue
Yeah.
with a sword. I don't think that's
I don't know if that-
possible. I don't
that
think you
was
can do
happening.
that. I don't.
No.
It's like chink with a spark
they
and
would-
then it
yeah.
goes. Yeah.
I thought they just would have pushed it over.
It's not a lightsaber.
No.
It's a marble statue. Like
They
Take a
nailed
knife
it,
and
though. It's
smack
a
it-
sharp knife.
take a knife and smack it into a marble countertop and let me know how that goes for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, they got a new guy for Kratos and he looks, I think, like better. He seems to fit the like visual style a little bit better than what they originally showed. So,
It'll be a fun watch.
any other thoughts on the Odyssey?
No, I'd like to see it again, but
Me too.
tough to carve out 3 hours.
5 hours to go drive to Regina.
Well, I'm not doing that, but yeah, go back to Grand Park.
I guess that's the
Oh,
question.
I had so much popcorn.
Would you ever? Did you have two? You had a full one and then got a refill.
I didn't end up refilling it because I felt disgusting.
You had a full
Before
bag.
the movie started, I crushed probably 3/4 of that bag with my Reese's peanuts in there.
You put the Reese's.
Oh,
in
my
there?
chocolate? Yeah.
Okay.
I always mix it.
Really?
Yeah, you love it. Sweet and salty.
I don't like that. Separate. Thank you. This is the original pictures that they had,
Yeah.
but there's a new one. I said new Kratos actor.
But other than that, no, I'd like to see it again. And
I feel like I'd enjoy like the experience a bit more the second time. Like for me, I was trying to take in, and again, just to be clear, like we were center middle of this.
Yeah.
It took up my entire vision, and it was like I could like look
Could be
around and
overwhelming.
see all these things.
Yeah.
It was a little overwhelming, so I wouldn't mind seeing it again to just kind of like take in some of the vibes a little bit
Yeah.
more. Was it Ryan Hurst or is the other guy?
that's Ryan
That's
Hurst.
the
Ryan
original
Hurst
guy.
is the OG.
Right, and Christopher Judge is the voice.
Yeah.
This had to have been from the last
Maybe they didn't cast him yet.
anytime last month. I think it was even like this last week that he was in it. This guy here. Oh, that's Ryan Hurst again.
Yeah.
Are you sure Ryan Hurst isn't the new guy?
No, Hurst is the guy who ripped his bicep apart.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because I swear this is the one that's been going around.
That's just a new photo, I guess.
But then also he was the one that is let's see here. Odin, Borg, Sinduri, Thread, Modi. That's weird. You'd think it'd be top billing.
You think so, but here we are.
Kratos. Not it's not on.
Probably
here.
John Bernthal.
Anyway, or maybe the picture was going around saying, "Oh, this is what he had done already," and then they recast him. This is a better picture than the other picture, I will say. He looks like Kratos in that, so that's cool. But and also,
It's going to be a tough, there's going to be some tough expectations they're going to have to live up to.
I mean, it's a video game.
I know, but a fucking great game.
Yeah, and it's like a pretty compelling story. So it's like
Mhm.
what I worry about is just like it's kind of like God of War, where it's like I've seen this all already. I played this already, so it's like
It's a
unless
better
you're
game.
doing new stuff,
Yeah, but what are you going to do? Like
the performance in the game was already great. I don't
Yeah.
need if you're just going to do the exact
the
same
thing.
thing again.
need
I
a
don't
show.
need it. I don't need the
Yeah.
show. So that's
make another game.
how I feel about it. Exactly.
Another side scroller.
Are you gonna play that like spin-off game that they're doing with his wife and like the afterlife?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's because you're sexist.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. Well, on that note,
I don't
we're
have time to get into
we're gonna leave it at that. Anyway, this is a good conversation. We didn't get into any of the other things that I've been watching, including Batman the Animated Series, the new one. Cape
Okay, I haven't
Crusader,
started that one yet.
on season 2 on Amazon Prime. It's really good. I didn't love season 1, but season 2 has really been getting it like working for me. There's this one episode where he goes undercover in prison as Matches Malone, which is his like alter ego, and it's sick as hell. It's just one full episode where he just like is a criminal. It's cool. So that X-Men 97, I'm almost done. Watched the first episode of Lanterns. That was freaking sweet. Been watching Star Trek: not the Next Generation.
You got too much time on your hands.
I've been watching a lot of stuff, dude. House of the Dragon season 3 just finished. So lots of stuff. Anyway, we'll do another episode where we cover
Here's
some
my
of this.
problem though.
What?
I only have so much time, and I've just only watched stuff I've seen.
Yeah, you just
already.
keep watching Miami Vice over and over.
No, but I put on Sicario the other day.
Okay.
And fuck, it's so good.
Yeah,
It's the
great.
best.
It's a great movie.
Like, I don't know how many times I've seen it already, but it's so good.
I mean,
One of my favorites.
it's just so moody and cool.
It's so cool.
I was at the cabin. It was on TV. I watched Jaws 2.
Okay.
Never seen Jaws 2 before. Very fine. It's an
Yeah,
okay sequel. It's just funny. It's like, hey, another shark in the
Another
same
one, yeah.
and in the same
Same story.
place with the same people mostly.
And then the new one I watched was that Kevin Hart Bachelor movie on Netflix,
Okay.
which wasn't that great.
You like Kevin Hart?
No.
No, me neither.
No.
Okay, that's surprising. I thought you were going to say that.
It was a bad like Netflix movie where they're just like
Every movie that comes out on Netflix is bad.
It's terrible.
It's like with a couple exceptions, basically. Anyway, there's lots to still unpack. We'll get to it soon. You also need to see Spider-Man, so we can talk about that.
Okay.
We'll be doing our Film Club episode soon. For those who don't know, exclusive to Patreon members, patreon.com/TowerBabbleCast. Glengarry Glen Ross is the film. And what a cast it is.
Great flick.
Unbelievable. I can't wait to dive into that. Considering where I am in my sales career, this should be an interesting conversation. Yeah. So again, that will be available on the Patreon, $5. Plus that gets you access to the full back catalog of everything else we've done, including both Escape from New York and Escape from LA. So
that's a steal.
That's a steal of a deal. You can't even rent the movie for that much money. So anywho, we'll be back soon with more ToB, but until then, keep your stick on the ice. There's a new closer.
Isn't that red green?
Yeah.